I got a populated prepared version 3 and FSX classic file here, so everything seems to be fine. What I did do is download the file and run it 3 times for each simulator, once for each of 3 simulators. So therefore, I'm saying I installed the middle one that says Steam, FSX Steam concurrent with FSX first. I installed the next one that just said FSX second, and I installed the one that said prepared third. So far, I haven't lost a folder full of files. I see Orbix files here, or excuse me, Orbix folder in each of these files, and it's populated.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm very happy I didn't screw everything up.
Yeah, the thing is, if it goes and wipes out your Orbix folders, then you will lose maybe all AussieX entries too. So, and you can't bring them back. You have to reinstall AussieX. I tried everything. The AussieX folder was still there, and I added it after reinstalling Orbix. I added just the AussieX stuff into the library, scenery library, and it was there for a moment, and after reboot it was gone. So you have to reinstall, if it happened, reinstall AussieX2 on the site.
Are you saying this happened to you? I didn't get that part.
Yeah, it happened to me. I was one of the first guys who downloaded because I always stay tuned on Orbix, I get emails, and soon as a release announcement was out of the new library, I did it and I lost everything.
Sorry to hear it. Like I told you back when we were talking about prepared version 2.5 to 3, I found this $9 software that purported to take a snapshot of your scenery library so you could reinstall it. And that's actually how I imported version 2.5 prepared Orbix scenery, very massive, to version 3 was with this snapshot thing. Problem is, it takes all night to run. Hey, listen to that. That's my alarm clock. Time to go find Nova.
User joined your channel.
Warhawk made poignant mention of the events in France, and as they were going live Friday night, his group flight. Were you there, Nova?
User disconnected from your channel.
Actually, I don't know why I phrased it that way. I know damn well I was there. I flew with you. But yes, I agree. Thank you. By the way, thank you.
Just information on the site, Orbix, they released Ireland and North Ireland on today with Quad Installer.
Thank you. Hey, you other guys here in the channel, do you mind if we talk tech all night? Okay, I'm going to talk tech anyhow, because these guys know, and this really is the only social time I can depend on with Casey and Nova. In the Orbix, does anybody make any statement on the airports themselves? What was referred to as the third-party developer that sells to Orbix? They have their own opinions. Anybody hear anything on Orbix airports?
No, I think in the moment they are just keep going to bring first all the big territories out, and I think then they are going forward to do the airports. I hopefully that the next new one, what they announced, will have from the beginning on the quad installer, who came with all installers. That's what I know. And the other airports, yeah, just stay tuned, wait. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. I'm after that crash right now with the library. I don't go and install even on Steam everything I have. I wait still piece by piece. till the quad installer is coming, and then I go ahead
Well,
and install it.
I was kind of fortunate in that, and the YouTube video that clued me into this starts with a S or something like that, and it's called FS Cubed, Cubed, the snapshot of the scenery thing. When I did that prepared version 2.5 and applied it to 3, I got all my 2.5 airports, my entire installation. I also thought I lost FSX and did this same take a snapshot of the scenery thing with FSX Classic, and that's proved beneficial because I installed it on Steam and it worked.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't have to wait for the quad installers, but I did it with this snapshot thing.
Good. And if you don't use a snapshot thing, I can tell you the most what you have will running on P3D version 3, as long as you know a little bit technical how to work around scenery folder, CFG, terrain CFG, and maybe a couple of other little tiny things. It's easy, but it is not worth the work, I think. In the snapshot thing, I agree that's a good idea, but like I said, I'm not in a hurry. I'm wait.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am with Windows 10 also. Hey guys,
Yeah.
remember I said we were going to talk tech? I'm just now getting enough together to trust a network, a home network, which is extensive. I mean, I got 5 computers and 2 printers and Wi-Fi on tablets. Windows 8.1 now it's working just fine. And Media Center, Windows Media Center, finally fixed their guide problem since their last update, so I get TV Guide. I need to find a suitable over-the-air antenna media thing, DVR, tuner driver, that sort of thing. And then I'll start one by one putting computers up to Windows 10 from Windows 8.1 and Windows 7.
Robert, I told you last time, you can fire up all your systems on Windows 10, but just leave one on Windows 7 where you have your media center running. Or let there your media center running, and you can integrate to use the home network setup on Windows 10. If you set it up on one host computer, on all other machines that running Windows 10, you don't get the option of the network, the home network thing. But you can connect all computers via just putting the computer name in and the password, what you are having on your main computer, and you have everything connected.
Thank you for that. I will do that. It's going to take a while, though. Before I do anything, I've got to get all of my FSX stuff and my collection of music and photos and my home movies and regular movies. I got to get all that backed up before I trust any of this.
Yep.
I'm backed up to 2 months ago, but that isn't sufficient.
So, flight lead? Are you going to line up or not? Ah, okay.
Are we starting?
Oh no. He's firing up his Twitch.
User joined your channel.
Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. Long time no see.
How's everybody?
Very good,
Good,
thanks.
properly
Pretty
configured.
good, pretty good.
Good.
Get ready to do some flying.
Jimmy, can you join us?
What are you guys up to?
business jets in Australia. There is a special scenery. There is a particular freeware business jet. But please jump in anything and try and come along if you have the moment.
Yeah, sure. Let me finish some testing here, and I'll try to join you guys.
By the way, nice plane, Nova. Thanks. I've test flighted an hour ago. Yeah, that's good.
Following your textual commentary, gear handling clock. Neat.
Yeah, I've seen all F-89s. A little bizarre. Kind of a twist back in history.
Three six copy.
User joined your channel. User left your channel.
For once, you have tasted flight. You will walk the earth with your eyes turned skywards. For there you have been, and there you will long to return. Leonardo da Vinci.
Romeo Delta crossing the active to the taxiway coming up behind the pack.
Go ahead, Bob, turn in.
The engine is the heart of the aircraft, but the pilot is its soul.
The two spooling up. And rolling.
November 2, Romeo Delta, away at the back, spooling up behind your head. Brakes off.
What's your recommended cruise speed, Nova?
I believe I'm selling the wrong server.
Did you say server? Wrong server?
Yes, I think I'm on the wrong server. There's nobody's here.
We're on the North MS Flightsnet AU Australian Steam server. Okay.
Alright.
User joined your channel.
You know what? Yeah, you're Grinch. Yeah, you're on the wrong server. Go to the same name except AU server.
Morning, Gary.
Alrighty.
My apologies, Grinch. If I was paying attention, I should have told you that. I have a team viewer up on that same North American server that you're on, erroneously. Sorry.
No
Awesome.
problem. I know now.
I'll say it again. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Howdy,
David. Are you on the first or second leg? Roger.
And thank you to the viewer at home who pointed out that I didn't have my mic on. so we've got winds from 240 again, so we're going to be using 21 for our approach into Onslow.
Roger that.
I was going to say, if our friend Lifelight returns to the group, then he'll be able to have something that he can fly that's that's hasn't got its wings above above the cockpit. That's still a Lifelight aircraft.
User joined your channel. User left your channel.
Well, some beautiful active sky thunderstorms in the north of Australia again tonight.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Nova, did you got the big fall upgrade or update for the Windows 10?
My server computer has, but my client side hasn't yet.
Yep. For me the same. I guess no problems, right?
Yes, well, it only rebooted. It only did the update yesterday, so far no problems.
Yep.
Flightly's going to start descending. Well, looks like we're going to be in for quite the rocky ride on this flight today.
Oh, shake it up.
And that's one of the reasons why I love flying with the real world weather, because especially in Australia, you just never know what you're going to get. I always remember the old saying that little boys who tell lies grow up to be weathermen.
Whoops, we're here already, right?
Yep, that's so yeah. As I said, Flightly's descending. So as I said, it's a very short hop. This first one. The next two hops are significantly longer. Said, yeah, we'll be using 2-1 for our landing today. we pop out below this cloud, of course.
Well, the way I'm looking at it, it would be right traffic, but I see Novawing crossing the runway for left traffic, I think.
Yeah, just had to bleed off some airspeed.
User
So,
joined your channel.
confirmed the clock, we're going roundabout left traffic for 2-1, right?
That's the plan.
Actually, correct, is what I should have said. Affirm.
Though to me it looks like this airport is completely closed in with the weather.
User disconnected from your channel.
Oh yeah, flight lead's rather low but below the clouds, so coming in now for 2-1.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
November 2, Romeo Delta is downwind left traffic for 2-1, behind Chief Josh and Casey Ryback. Can you tell I just saw Casey Ryback mid-sentence there in the traffic call? To Romeo Delta is extending that downwind I was talking about earlier.
User left your channel.
How big is the ramp next to the runway? Big enough for me to put my arm in there or not?
Yeah, you should be right, Razor.
Okay. Hey, Jimmy.
Romeo Delta's turning base behind Casey.
Well, I definitely can't say welcome to sunny Onslow for this this landing, this airport.
I'm gonna have to check my active sky installation. I'm getting the thunder and the rain and stuff, but I'm not getting the thick weather you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't pop out of until I was below 1,200 feet before I got visibility.
Again, on a lot of these installations, this is the first run.
User joined your channel.
I took Active Sky at their word that unless otherwise stated, their patches were cumulative, and yeah, I skipped about 3 of them there. I went from Service Pack 2, I think.
Oh, that's a big jump.
Sometimes I think I'm not old enough to run a sim.
Nonsense, my
You're
friend.
not going to pay
User
any
left
more
your
attention
channel.
to it than I do. But that's only client side. Server sides, they're running flawlessly. Did you get the bit about FSX Classic with Carl couldn't be found and server wasn't running and etc. etc.?
I did. I hope so. We found Carl in the end, did we?
No, we did, actually he did return my text cellular
User
finally.
left your channel.
Explained how he couldn't get text conveniently when he's busy at work, and he was. And he tries to run his red box without a monitor. I think he had a monitor crap out and he needed the one on the server. Well, that doesn't exactly work.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think TeamViewer, it needs to have a monitor even if you're not going to use it.
Well, evidently FSX does too, because after a while I learned better than to reboot the computer, as TeamViewer will no longer work. But I couldn't get FSX to boot to other than an air condition. All I wanted to do is change the time. And 2 Romeo Delta is clear right, waiting on Casey.
Go ahead.
I'll go in front of you, Casey.
Yeah.
Well, Razor, at least I've got you in Boeing house colours.
That's good. I'm guessing the 7-3.
Yep.
So, Razor, you presented me a screenshot with my aircraft in your screenshot. Wouldn't you know it, I clicked on the browser and tried to F9 back inside my cockpit.
I've done that a few times. More than a few times. Oops.
And
About 5 knots more speed there, Gainer handle.
Bob, I know you always ask if you to confirm you got the latest versions of the scenery installed correctly. If you're seeing gravel and concrete runways, then you got the right add-on.
Let me look for that gravel. I see the, well, wait a second. No,
Asphalt, sorry.
Okay, yeah, then good. Yeah, that's gravel over there.
Yeah, 1 gravel, 1 asphalt.
So what is the function of the airports? Again, 4 letters, starts with R, I forget what they are.
For RBAR's, RPWG's airports, that was the first one that we departed from today, which was RAAF Learmonth. So it's used as a backup Air Force base and as an alternative landing strip for aircraft, for a large aircraft, including a diversion airport for any inbound flights that can't make it to Perth. It's their primary alternate.
Understood, thank you.
Alright, looks like we've got everybody down, so once everybody returns, then I'll commence lining up.
What's that, Razor?
Midfield.
Oh,
I need this extra 500 feet.
number 2, Razor is taking a left, and so I'm going to follow Flight Lead.
So for our next leg, we're going to be going up to 24,000 feet, and I'm going to be aiming for a cruise speed of 320 knots indicated. Well, it's definitely lovely weather for ducks here anyway, if nothing else. And as always, folks, I always ask screenshots, please, because sometimes I'm a little bit preoccupied to be able to get them. So please grab some screenshots, or if you want, you can always review the video as well once as it goes up on YouTube. Alright, looks like we're all lined up, so flight lead is now spooling.
User joined your channel.
Flight lead is rolling.
Moving up. Number 2, brakes ready.
Let's see speeding up. And rolling.
Spore. Rolling.
Razor, I'd almost wish to have a video of your takeoff.
I'm watching.
Yeah, I can't offer anything. I got no FS recorder or anything on Steam, so.
User disconnected from your channel.
Hey, Nova, what's the main economy of this little town here?
So the townships here that we're, and Onslow specifically, but for many of the towns around here, it all relies on resource extraction. So as you know, we've been flying through over the last few weeks. Been flying through quite a lot of areas which do a lot of nickel and cadmium and gold mining. Though what we're not getting what we're getting into now is into the area of the northwest shelf. So the areas from Onslow and from some of the other airports that we're visiting serve as bases for operations out in the in the Indian Ocean and on the northwest shelf, which has large areas of oil and coal, oil and gas deposits underwater.
Roger, are we anywhere close to the opal mining?
Most of the opal mining is further south and more in the interior.
Okay.
Isn't this pretty heavy tourism also?
Exactly. So one of the airfields that we're going into, Paraburdua, which is our next stop, and both Telfer as well. Excuse me. They service a lot of the tourism industry for the region.
All right, I just did a touch and go in the airport. Signing off from Polygon.
You got some pretty healthy cyclones out here, don't you?
Oh, very. In fact, there is one of the cyclones that's enshrined in national memory is further north from here, in a town we'll be visiting later in the tour in Darwin. Cyclone Tracy. So it has been recorded as I believe, the most destructive cyclone in Australian history.
Ooh, lots of lightning and thunder. What altitude did you say? 25 or 35?
24,000.
24.
Though I am considering with the peaks, looks like they're about 30, so we might go up. Yeah, so Flightley's going to adjust his level up to 30,000 feet.
Check your anti-ice. 'Cause I just saw both your airspeed 0 out in front of me.
I'm hoping he hasn't modelled it, because he hasn't modelled the ice protection systems.
Yeah, I just noticed that as I'm madly clicking away as Razor draws my attention to the temperature. Got my pitot heat on though. You heard me saying I was stabbing at the same two icing switches you were looking at.
And I've actually just been corrected by a member of the streaming audience today. That actually, Telfer and Paraburdoo are both actually they have most of their money coming from mining. I stand corrected. So the tourism ones are further inland.
I never really realized coal was extracted from underwater. Never heard of that.
Sorry, that was my mistake. I meant to just say the oil and gas, but no, coal's just a land-based one for now. Though I'm sure in the future somebody will figure out how to do it underwater.
No reason it couldn't be. It could be dried off, I'm quite sure. But, yeah, I picked up on what you said and wondered about it. Actually, I took your word at face value and wondered how I had missed that all my life.
I'm just imagining the whole open cut coal mine underwater. That would be an impressive thing to see, I think.
Well, it certainly keep the dust problem down.
Very true, very true. So we're going to say thank you very much to all of these audience joining me on the stream tonight. Apologies for the start of the flight. I did have my mic disabled, but we did start the flight with a moment of silence in memory of those who lost their lives in the tragedy in Europe over the weekend. So we carry those the thoughts of them and their families with us all the time. Don't think we can really get away from this weather today.
I don't know. I'm not seeing the same thing you are. You just climbed over any clouds as far as me, and I'm about 2 miles behind you.
Robert, you're running an ASN on standard settings, right?
On what headings? Settings?
Standard settings.
I'll go check.
Did you manipulate something? Maybe you go on settings and go on cloud options. Put your cloud layers on 15.
1.5?
Yes. And then go down to high detailed thunderstorm clouds and tick that on. Don't forget, inside the blue window, always click on that little bar what comes up to activate it.
And for those doing VA flights tonight, don't forget we do have one VA leg as part of this tour flight tonight. It'll be from Parabadu to Telfer. But we will be taking a coffee break, coffee and water break for all the pilots for about 15 minutes or so once we get on the ground at Parabadu.
Copy.
Do you suppose an upgrade from Service Pack 2 Active Sky to 4 would undo all my settings?
Yes.
Install a default?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it will. A 2 to 4 upgrade will wipe them.
Oh, okay, now I know all my problems. Boy, I'm amazed I haven't experienced wind shear and quake turbulence yet. Yeah, I'll go through all these and make them good soon. Coffee time, maybe.
User joined your channel. User left your channel.
Contrails are looking beautiful, Bob.
Where are you?
A little bit in front of you and slightly below.
I found you.
Alright, once we're 80 miles out, flight lead's going to be slowing down to 300 indicated and going to be descending down to 5,000 feet.
Contrails were a direct result of me trying to edit Active Sky while hand flying.
SMT near a little too close to overspeed. Every time I get a wind gust, I hear the clacker start going off. Until the wind gust stops. And then it stops.
Yeah, you must be running right on the razor's edge. Sorry.
That's where my name came from, so.
Yeah, true. Now it does appear that we are going to get a break in the weather as we come into our next stop. And flight lead's commencing his descent. Ah, look at that. You just popped out of the thunderstorm clouds. Nice.
What's your vertical speed, Nova?
2800.
$2,800.
Yep. Good thing this aircraft's built for it.
Yeah. Are you reducing the speed?
Yes. Yeah, I brought my speed back to 280.
Yeah, correct.
So as we start our descent, a little bit of a side story about the aircraft the repaint that's featured tonight. So VH Rio is one of only two jet aircraft operated by the Royal Flying Doctor Service in Australia, both of which are operated by the Western Australian section. And this particular one is sponsored in part by the mining giant Rio Tinto, hence the labelling of the aircraft on the side. And provides high-speed aeromedical services to the far-flung places of Western Australia and all the mining communities, so making sure that everyone is kept safe all around the state.
Rio Tinto, I was wondering about that. I've never heard of the company, sorry, here in America.
I was going to say you probably should have because they have quite extensive operations in the US and Canada, mostly involving coal and uranium. I think coal and aluminium extraction in the US and coal and uranium in Australia.
I should have, I'm quite sure. Heard of them.
By the way, fellas, the airport elevation 1,400 feet. Airport elevation.
What's up, Nova?
Oh, hello. Hi. How you doing? Is the 7.8 really that much bigger than the 7.3?
Yeah. For quite a bit. It's a big airplane. A lot closer to the 777. Have you seen pictures of the 747-8?
Yeah, a few, yeah.
The engines on that airplane are exactly the same as the two on the 787.
Wow, efficiency.
I shouldn't say exactly. They're very similar. They're the younger sisters of the same engines. Had to change the mounts and a few other things for them, but
I'm waiting for the inverted pass, though. I'm assuming that's coming later in the flight, Razor. It's just, you know, I'm just waiting for it.
it probably wouldn't be a good idea to try that while I'm overspeeding.
Alright, folks, we'll be using 2-4 for our landing here, and we're about 10 miles out. Foley's going to dogleg out to the right, so we can turn straight into final.
Not happening.
All I saw was this wingtip go blasting past my cockpit.
Speed brakes aren't quite as effective.
Parabadoo traffic, large assortment of business jets coming in, turning into final for landing full stop at runway 24.
What's your landing speed?
About 140. This one's going to be coming in a bit hot, I think.
November 2, Romeo Delta is turning final 3 miles out, 2 miles behind Racer.
And follow these down and safe, and rolling out.
November 2, Romeo Delta over the fence.
Thank you, Razor. There it is.
Romeo Delta's clear, taxiing behind Nova.
My friend, that will never get old.
Look even cooler if you could actually see me as a 787.
Alrighty folks, so we are going to park up here and we're going to take a, let's check the time here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 15-minute break. So our aim is we'll take off again at 5 past the hour. And as I said, don't forget to check out the virtual airline details if you are intending to fly for the VA tonight.
That's time to make breakfast. Zoom, 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 lady.
So for those following along at home on YouTube and on Steam Switch as well, there goes Razor again. So as I said, we will be taking a short break here. We'll be taking approximately 15 minutes, so we'll be taking off again at 5 past the hour. I look forward to seeing you all again then.
See you soon.
Casey, you on final?
Yep.
I'll be number 2 behind you.
Toto's on final, turning to 2-1.
Nova, are you around?
Welcome back.
Um, what are you selecting for an aircraft? Because the Hawker 800 is not fit in the fleet right now. The 850, okay.
Nova, what's the conversion on kilometers versus knots, like these wind speeds in some of these cyclones? Because Onslow had pretty severe storms, and so did our departure point. It had the worst, apparently, for the whole continent.
It's definitely some incredible weather that happens through this part of the world.
The highest I read was like 267 kilometers, but I don't know how that converts to miles or knots.
Well, put it this way, I know that 80 miles an hour is 130 kilometers an hour. I know that. I only know that because I had to remember that when I was driving in Europe. I switched between the continent and the UK. The UK speed limits at the time was still in miles per hour. The continent was in kilometers, and the car that I was driving had kilometers, not miles.
It looks like about 2/3, I suppose.
That was about as close as you can get.
Definitely great seeing all these aircraft here, and thank you very much to everyone who gets up early and stays up late to join me on these flights.
Thank you for the paint.
And Bob, sorry, Gehandle, I've just been informed by one of my viewers that 1 knot is 1.85 kilometers, so there you go.
That's still a shit pot full of wind.
Oh yeah.
Nova, as far as AU server administration, well, you've made me aware of the team viewer aspects. It's not my custom to go mess with AU, even if it's offline. What would you have me do, just as standing operating procedure?
SOPs, if you see it down or not joinable, please just jump straight in and reset it.
Will do.
I'm gonna get in the air here before you guys start taxiing, so you have the whole runway.
We shall use our the runway we arrived on as our departure again, so it's 5 past the hour. Let's hopefully, for those who are doing the VA, make sure you've got your K cars started, and we'll let Razor depart, and we shall taxi down the end of our runway and take off.
There's a cloud at the end of the runway. Let's go over that.
Oh, very nice, sir.
There really was a cloud at the end of the runway, but I just needed an excuse to do that.
Do you ever need an excuse to do such things, Razor?
No.
Alright, that's good. Alright, so on this leg, folks, we're going to go up to, we're going to try 25,000 feet this time, just because it looks like we've got fairly clear skies this time. And flight is going to go for 320 knots. I just realised we're eastbound, aren't we? So we'll make it 26.
That's not correct.
Eastbound
25,
flight,
500.
Oh, I thought east was even.
No,
Nope.
west is even, east is odd.
Well, in that case, 25,000 it is then.
25,500.
Well, no.
Just to be
'cause
different.
we're already above the flight levels, so.
Alrighty, so we're here, ready to go, and flight lead is spooling up. If I don't have a cat who suddenly attacks my throttle, but anyway.
Check your flaps. Looks like they are full.
Yeah, that was my cat freaking out at the moment as I moved the throttle. Never mind. Okay, alright, so flight lead is spooling up. And rolling.
Okay, he's spooling up. And rolling.
Number 3, November 2, Romeo Delta is spooling. Rolling.
Toto spooling up and rolling.
I know one of the big topics of discussion, and we've got quite a few of the P3D version 3 users here, but I'll admit I'm considering investing in it, but part of me is also going, do I just wait until DFS comes out next year? And I'll be honest, I'm starting to lean towards that.
I'll for sure be picking up that 64-bit software. I didn't. You know the discussions we've had on a license qualification. I'm a $60 guy. For $60, I think the decision's easy, and isn't it both of them?
It's I don't know. Is P3D version 3 64-bit? I didn't think it was.
No, I was talking about the Dovetail
Oh,
offering.
Dovetail one.
64-bit, right?
Still to be confirmed.
Oh. Oh. I'm gonna get it anyhow.
Yeah, I think one of the things we'll end up getting it anyhow. But yeah, the 64-bit part is still actually to be confirmed. It was originally talked about that that's what it was going to be, and then it all went very quiet about it. So who knows?
I'm thinking before Dovetail confirms that they are going on 64-bit, I think if they still stay at 32 bits, you can't get anything better than Lockheed Martin's version.
Which is why it's most likely, I think, that yeah, you will see DFS go to 64-bit because I mean, you look at what else is in the market. Although the X-Plane community is small, I do believe it is growing, especially now that the your major payware producers are supporting it more and more, i.e. the likes of Carinado, Alabao, and now PMDG.
Yeah, and I am thinking in the future if maybe Dovetail brings up a 64-bit before Lockheed Martin comes up on that place. What with all our additional software what we have.
Here you go, Nova.
Nice. Very nice, sir. Well, that's the thing is that, I look at the 64-bit thing and 32-bit and really, because I mean, I've only got basic understanding of coding. But, from what I understand is that it's pretty much a whole architecture rewrite. You can make 64-bit backwards compatible to 32, but it's very hard to make 32 forward compatible to 64.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I think, and that's the thing about Lockheed Martin. Really, if they're going to make a 64-bit, they're going to have to start from the ground up and do a whole engine from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, which is, the position Dovetail's in. Dovetail's, I think in many ways, Dovetail's seems to be doing the right thing. They seem to be going, okay, we're gonna, use everything that that Microsoft, learnt and taught us, and we're going to use it to make our own simulator with our own engine. And I
User
think
joined
that's
your
almost
channel.
like the right way to do it.
Yeah, and if we go back to the add-on scenery stuff, if it turns into 64-bit, I think none of the developers
User left
what
your
gives you
channel.
right now the quad installers and whatever it's called for free. I guess then you have to go ahead and pay again for everything you
Oh, yes.
already paid for.
Yeah. So that's why I think if we do see the likes of a 64-bit, then it's going to be a major financial investment for everybody. Not only for developers, well, not for end users, but it will be for developers as well. So I guess that's what you have to bear in mind. But I think you'll find a lot more of the Lockheed Martin style purchasing sales model, which is you won't get a discount for having a previous copy of it or anything like that. That seems to be something that's quite common at the moment.
Yeah.
That was a bad time to level out.
This is one of the worst things about being a perfectionist. So I'm looking at the repaint I put out and going, yeah, okay, I can see all the problems with it now, so now I'm going to have to go back and redo it.
I was thinking just the opposite. Pixel for pixel perfect is what I was looking around the jet.
What's the passenger capacity of a 737? About 250, isn't it?
250, I think.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the irony of it's barely half again as big as my my little 850, my little 800 here, and yet it's carrying 10 times the passengers.
87's got quite a bit more capacity. Of course, it's a lot bigger.
Actually, that reminds me of that. I'm trying to remember what a US airline it was. It was one of the US airlines. They got in trouble because they were using I think it was either 737s or Airbus A321s on routes from continental US to Hawaii, and they got in trouble because they were not two of the fleet that were not equipped for long haul over water operations.
It was one of theirs. I think it was American Airlines. They
Mm.
got in the wrong airplane.
Yep, this is wait. Yeah, we're gonna take this airplane, and it was like, nope, can't do that. Had to fly the back empty.
Well, not quite empty. One person on board. Just an FAA inspector.
Oh, I dread to think how much money that costs American Airlines.
Really quite a bit.
The weather looks very, very nice. Pretty much winds calm at our destination airport. I'm definitely very jealous, Razor, that you get to see them actually do that in real life.
Yeah, they don't quite do that, but they do really perform pretty incredibly. Have you seen the video that Boeing put out a while ago for the Farnborough display practice? And then the demo they did?
Yes, that was very impressive.
Yeah, I've seen them do about 80% of that takeoff in real life.
Damn.
Clearance out of the Charleston airspace and push it up about 20 or 30 knots faster than they would usually rotate at, which puts them farther down the runway, closer to where I'm watching them take off from, and it just climb it like a bat out of hell. Push it over and level off at 2,000 or 3,000 feet, and then head out over the ocean.
To think they get paid to do that.
Yeah. And they get paid very, very good money. Which rightfully so.
You know what thrust class those engines are by chance?
No idea. They got a lot of power, I know that.
Yeah, I'm guessing like 80,000 pound.
Yeah, it's really close if I remember correctly. I think it's 86. They're one of very few airplanes that have the choice. You can either put Rolls-Royce engines on them or GE.
I'm Googling it right now and 100,000 keeps popping up.
Maybe. (787-8) thrust max takeoff pound 72,300. Max continuous 66,500.
Damn. That's a lot of power in those two engines. Wait, is that spec for the GE or spec for the Rolls Royce?
That's the G's. Trent 1000.
I'm looking at the G90s. They're rated from 74 to 115.
G what?
The GE90.
And they got the 1B70s on the 87.
Let me go back. I'm looking at 777s. My bad.
Jimmy, are you still in? That's alright. Sorry, Riser. I was saying, Jimmy, you still in Hawaii these days?
Oh yeah. I am off tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Hence the flight simming.
Oh yeah. I mean, it sounds like a good schedule, Ralph. You know, like when you first hear it, but then when you start going through it, it's like, oh my goodness. So the way the deal works right now, while I'm getting this qualification done, I'm 3 days on and 3 days off, which doesn't sound bad, but the kicker is it's 12-hour work days apiece. So it's long days.
Well, if you're still there in August, I'll make sure I stop in and buy you a beer.
By all means, man. What are you coming down for?
I'm heading over for the Spartan race weekend. They're putting on all 3 of the Spartan races on in one weekend on Oahu.
Nice. I'll be here.
The Rolls Royce Trent 1000s, which are the Rolls Royce version of the G's, rated 78,000 pounds takeoff thrust.
A lot of power.
Yeah. I'm gonna put 2 of them on there. On an airplane that weighs empty 259,000 pounds.
Pretty nice thrust to weight.
Yeah.
So the area of Greenlands that we're flying over beneath us is the Karanjinji National Park. So one of many national parks and heritage areas, World Heritage areas listed in Western Australia and in the Northern Territory. So drawing many of the tourists that you were referring to earlier, Gear Handle.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, if I did my math right, that's 0.6 thrust to weight ratio. Which on
Sounds
an
about
airplane
right.
is insane. Obviously that's empty, but
What does a C-17 get?
I'm not sure how much. Thrust to weight's rated 0.277. I'm guessing that's at some moderate weight though.
And Jimmy, I heard a rumor that there's a new version of the Charlie, the fleet model.
I'm working on it right now, man. I hate PIs, PID controllers. I was going over with the guy that's been helping me out. We're trying to get the amount of error and the continuous error down right now, so just playing back and forth with the variables.
So you have my utmost respect. I had my first attempts of messing around with a hex editing with a model file earlier today and gauges and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'll stick to repainting, thank you.
Be careful, man. It gets addictive after a while.
Hence why I stopped.
Feel the same way about 3D modeling.
Yeah, because there's one FS9 port that I really want to do, but but I know I have to go in and edit and create a whole batch of new gauges for it, because none of the gauges are compatible with, they're not XML, so I need to create a whole batch of new gauges for it. Need to do a bit of tweaking to the model file, and I'm just like, if I start down that path, I will never stop.
So
Yeah,
based off the, go ahead.
Go ahead. Please, sir.
Based off the same numbers, so max takeoff thrust to empty weight, it's almost exactly the same, 0.608 thrust to weight. Of course, I got 4 engines on the
Posted a
17.
picture from an
Yeah.
Aussie airport.
From our last stop?
No. I installed AussieX in P3D, and in one of these AussieX installers there are a PDF file with all the listed and installed airports with the comments what you can see there, and one says watch out for crocodiles. So that's it. I forgot the name of that airport. But there are a lot of more crocodiles in the water, laying on the beach and stuff. I just like that because that crocodile, you see what he has in his mouth?
Nice.
I didn't get to read the full article, but apparently they rolled out the XB70 not too long ago. Anybody hear about that?
Negative. Where?
Oh, let me go dig for the CNN article.
They
Wait.
moved it. They
Wait.
moved the hangars. They moved from one hangar to another. Yeah, they've got the airplane closed off for I think the next couple of months until they get the hangar actually open, but obviously they couldn't finish building the rest of the hangar when they couldn't get that airplane in.
Ah,
I was going to say, if you were about to say that somebody's got it flying again, then that I will pay lots of money to see.
wish.
That was one of those shameful events of aviation history, which what could have been and never was. Tragic how it finished, but
I couldn't imagine how much it would cost to operate that airplane per minute.
probably in the same ballpark as an SR-71, I'm guessing.
Oh, I'd expect much more.
Much bigger, isn't
The
it?
SR-71's got 2 engines, and the XB-70 pushes almost the same speed, and it's probably 30 times bigger.
But it's just so beautiful.
What was the plane made for?
It's
Reconnaissance?
supposed to be a long-range bomber.
Yeah.
Mach 3 plus strategic bomber, if I remember correctly.
Actually, the SR-71 is supposed to be initially the same purpose, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think
initially
Wednesday.
the A12.
I just imagine the A-12 being armed with missiles that go slower than the actual aircraft that's carrying them.
The whole point, that was back in the day when everybody thought war was going to switch over to nuclear, and it was all about getting things in quickly.
Mm. Alright folks, we're coming up on 80 miles out from our final stop at Telfar, so Flylead's going to commence his descent. It's going to descend down to 5,000 feet.
Yeah, Wright Patterson's doing a huge expansion project. They moved that over, and I forget what the other airplane was they moved over recently, but they had to move them both over before they put the doors on the hangar.
Reminds me of my ex-girl, man. She hit me up a couple of days ago. I guess she got to go to Pax River. Somebody took her on a tour over there. She takes a picture. She's like, "Oh, the tour guide told me this is like the newest plane that they're testing out. That's going to be out. You know, they're not even finished testing it. It's out on the. They haven't put it out in the fleet yet."
F-35.
No. I look at the picture. It's a picture of S3 Viking.
Wait. The COD version?
It's not out on the fleet, you're right.
So she's like, "Yeah, check out. It's folding wings," and I'm like, "Yeah, that thing's like been in the fleet and already out." And you look at the edge of the screen, the edge of the picture, and you see the nose of a 35. I was like, I think it's that one, the right edge there, that he was talking about.
So the US, they're getting the US Navy's getting the Catabar capable ones, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
testing it right now. And the ship that I just left was testing the vertical landing version of it.
And because that's only going to the Marines, isn't it?
Yeah.
Marines and Europe, or not Europe, but Great Britain and supposedly Canada, but
From what I'm hearing, they're Xing that.
yeah, one of the Super Hornet.
But from like an aviation enthusiast side of the house, man, it's impressive, like the way they've changed up the controls, the way that thing works, I should say.
Yeah, as far as how it flies, it's amazing. I talked to one of the pilots out at Cherry Point last year, and he's like, I really can't tell you much about how I fly it, but it's the easiest airplane I've ever flown, even when hovering it.
Yeah. I said if it's long as it's under a certain weight, you just press a button and it defaults to hover. Hands off, it'll hover. And your whole control layout changes out. So, you know, with a Harrier, as you can imagine, you know, going up and down vertical, you add power and you take out power. And then you push the nose forward and you pull it back in order to move forward or move back. Well, with this aircraft, once you go into hover mode, your controls change over. So if you want to move forward or back, you just move the throttles forward or back as if you're in normal flight, and then you use your stick to control down your descent and ascent rate. So if you're trying to land on the ship, you just move your throttle forward until you match the speed pretty much, and then just push forward on the stick to go down.
That would I'm guessing take some getting used to.
Well, you could try it out because Dino has somehow mirrored it, so he's implemented the same type of control system in there.
Oh, nice. In his latest version of it? Or the one in P3D?
He's implemented it for a mint. Yeah, and most of his P stuff he's working now is like avionics based stuff, but as far as the controls and stuff, he's had that for a minute.
Yeah, it doesn't work in FSX. It works in Prepared 3D.
Works in FSX, except you can't use the throttle for the speed. You gotta use a command for it.
Yeah. I think it was like trim up or trim down or something like that.
Do you know
something
what the
like
key command is, Razor?
that. I want to say it's got something to do with the numpad, but I can't be sure. It's
Okay,
like
cool.
Control 6 or something like that on the numpad with numlock off.
Yeah, I've looked for it. I can't find it.
You press and hold it a couple of seconds, and you'll start seeing the speed increase on
Okay.
the display. I go from 0 to like 5.
I forgot what company it is, but I think they finally finished that LHD,
Nice.
so that'll be a good combo to
Yeah,
practice
that'd
with.
be cool.
Only problem is they skipped over to Wasp, man. Kind of upset about that.
Fortunate.
Well, they skipped the Tarawar and went straight to the Tarawar class and went straight to the Wasp.
No, it's an LHD, which is the same type as Wasp, but they went to the Essex first, I think, and then they skipped over. I was thinking, hoping they would do the Wasp, but they grabbed the next LHD, which I think is like the, I forgot what it was, what number. I think maybe the, either the Boxer or like the Baton or something. I think maybe the Kearsarge. I think it was a Kearsarge.
What altitude did you drop to?
5,000.
5,000, okay.
Last I checked, it was really nice looking LHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have to let me know whose that is, because I've been chasing a good quality US LHD for a while.
I'm looking for the link right now.
Seriously, Rosa, I don't think a 787 is meant to be thrown around like a fighter.
Oh, you haven't seen it fly. I mean, no, it's not supposed to pass 90 angle of bank, but other than that,
Oh, it looks like they're doing an LCS now.
Oh, the little literal one.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they made a video for the Essex. And there's a link for it.
so do we really fight many of our battles in the littorals?
I was gonna say, isn't wouldn't that be more geared for export? I would have thought.
What do you mean?
Because I was just
That's
thinking.
a pretty nice looking model. Wow. I'm looking at this video, it's blowing me away. I'm sorry. Say again? I even have it to where it ballasts. Littorals, yes. I mean, that's kind of where we're getting back to. I guess we're getting back to our Navy Marine Corps roots. So Navy Marine Corps is doing a lot more working together to work the littoral side of the house. You know, obviously, right now you got kind of your three bigger areas. Obviously, carrier ops and stuff like that. That presence there. BMD, which is ballistic missile defense, and then the Navy, the Gator Navy, if you will, is kind of stepping up the littoral side of the house. This is a very nice LHD.
Yeah. I saw the pictures of it when they were making it, but
You see the video right now?
yeah.
They got the antenna tilt groups working and everything. They got all the spinny stuff that I was in charge with, running, moving around up there.
The what stuff?
The spinny stuff, the radars and the antennas. Even got the lights for the TACAN on there.
What
And they got the JSF toward the end. That's awesome.
What about
But
the
no Wasp.
hovercraft?
Well, they're pretty much showing, so far they've shown a lot of the platforms that we work with. They've shown an Osprey landowner, they showed a F-35 landowner.
FSX Top
Kilos.
Gun, this guy's always makes really good videos. This isn't their official trailer though.
That was on their website. I think I'm
It says
looking at it.
unofficial
Yeah.
trailer, but
Got a chubby from it. Yeah, it looks like they got the Boxer and the Kearsarge. I mean, not the Kearsarge and the Essex. Kearsarge sucks.
Tell us how you really feel, Jimmy.
Got Moving Sea Whiz.
I don't know if anybody else saw that meme that's been kicking around, but the one of Or an A10 Warthog and an R2.
Yep.
Yep.
The
That's
E2.
sorry. That's epic. That meme. 9 months later.
That cracked me up too. I gotta
Oh, with the
support your
Sea-Wiz?
sense of humor there.
Yep, with the Seawiz. That was just like epic.
Yeah, that one and the one with the
Wow.
U2 are pretty good.
Got the plenum doors moving, and all right, I gotta buy this.
Much is it? Like 40 bucks?
I don't know.
So it is landable, and all the animations can be seen by everybody else who also has it and is trying to land on it. Excellent.
$48.
For that price, I'm assuming it's P3D compatible.
Select.
Nope. FSX SP2.
It said should work in Prepare 3D.
Alright, so we're just flying overhead of our destination field, so flight lead is going to brake right and bleed off some airspeed and altitude, and we're going to come in for a landing on 30.
Wonder if their destroyer's any good.
Nova, just a technical question about that plane here. The auto speed doesn't work very well for me here. I set it to 200 KAS, but it's still speeding up over 300.
Which aircraft is this?
The Hawker 800.
Robert James Richardson's freeway. It got mine down to 280. It didn't do it in the descent. In the descent, it kept it at about, maybe about 290.
Yeah, in the descent, yes, but right now I'm on. I went down to 200, but it still runs 300, and keep raising. And the auto arm switch is not active, right? You can go there, but it's not active.
Interesting.
The speed switch, yes, but the auto arm switch not. Even if you use the key combination of Shift R, nothing happens.
Oh, their destroyer looks really good too. Looks like they
Yeah.
put a little more detail into the LHD, but the external model definitely looks good.
You would think with ships of this quality, they would gear it more toward P3D since you can drive them there.
And flight lead's coming in on short final 430.
November 2, Romeo Delta is turning base, runway 30. Behind flight lead and hopefully not too close to Chief Josh.
Got inside you.
Even got a sailor with some Smurfs on.
Down safe and exiting right to the tarmac.
Two Romeo Delta, 2 miles out, number 2 behind Josh.
User joined your channel.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good morning, Joey.
Joey,
How is everybody doing?
Good.
Even model to egg beaters. Good stuff.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Oh, they even show the tomahawks.
All right. Well, I just dropped in to say good morning. I'm gonna go ahead and try getting my DCS sorted out.
All right, man.
If you need
nice
anything, I'll
seeing
be
you
down.
again, Sapper.
Roger that. I'll be around. I'll be in DCS if you need anything.
And for everyone who's watching on the stream, thank you very
User
much
left
for
your
joining me
channel.
once again on this wonderful tour of the Australia tour. It's been great as always to have you accompany me, and thank you very much for watching the little episode here of Novawing24 Adventures. Don't forget, folks, to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search Novawing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.